In this video, we will walk you through the step-by-step process of unpacking and assembling your Cyclops fluid trainer, and we'll show you how to mount your ElliptiGO 8S in the trainer. When you first unpack the box, you should have 3 items: the gray trainer box, the plastic bag with the wheel adapter kit, and the black riser block. Start by opening the package to the 20-inch wheel adapter kit. Take a quick inventory of the bag components to make sure you have everything. You should have 2 black legs, 1 black metal wheel bracket, a separate plastic bag that contains an extra carriage bolt, an extra L bolt, the lock nut, and several other hardware pieces that will go into the trainer assembly. When you open the trainer box, you will see a copy of directions and instructions, which are also included in the plastic bag. And as you continue to unpack the box, you'll also find a training DVD. In the central portion of the box, you'll find the training mechanism with the roller and the yellow tension lever. In that central box, you should also have an extra plastic bag with additional hardware for the trainer assembly. In this side compartment of the box, there will be another plastic bag that contains a training skewer for quick release on a road bike, as well as the bracket that we'll use to hold the axle nuts in the trainer. And finally, you will remove the trainer stand from the box. Once you have everything, we're ready to move on to assembly. The first step is to take the frame and flip it over. You're going to swap out the legs that the trainer came installed with the shorter legs that you'll need to use the trainer with the 20-inch adapter installed. You'll need 2 crescent wrenches to loosen the nut and the bolt to remove the leg. Once you have loosened the nut sufficiently, you can finish removing the bolt by hand and swap out the legs. Notice that the 2 legs are universal, so you can put either one on either side. Note the through hole and align that through hole with the hole in the frame of the trainer. Insert the bolt, like so, and put the nut on the other side. Tighten by hand, and then use the crescent wrenches to finish tightening the bolt and the nut. Once the nut has been fully tightened down, check to make sure the leg can move easily into the up and down position. You'll then repeat this process for the second leg. Once you have both legs installed, you can flip the frame back over. Now you're going to add the extension bracket. Unwrap the bracket and notice the 2 tabs on this side and the 2 through holes here. You're going to attach the bracket via the tabs as shown here. Get a carriage bolt, which you can identify from the square feature here, and notice how it matches to the square feature on the tabs and also on the frame of the trainer. Insert the bolt to connect the 2 pieces together. Make sure the square portion is flush with the tab and it fully inserts into the hole. Then attach the nut by hand and continue to tighten the nut using your crescent wrench. The next step is to attach the trainer mechanism and wheel. In order to begin attaching it, you first have to remove this tensioning lever shown here. Get a 3mm Allen wrench to remove the 3mm nut as shown here. Make sure you keep the pin, the nut, and the yellow lever all in a safe place, because we will shortly reassemble them once we've attached the trainer mechanism to the trainer frame. The trainer mechanism aligns like so and is attached using the second carriage bolt. Hold the training mechanism in position, like so, and insert the carriage bolt. Once the pin is all the way through, you can then attach the nut and tighten down. You can first tighten the nut by hand, and then use your crescent wrench to finish the tightening. You'll now begin reassembling the tensioning mechanism. Make sure you have all the parts you need, including the yellow lever handle, the bolt, the hexagonal nut, the pin, and the L-bolt. You'll see here that the hexagonal nut fits into the hexagonally shaped hole, whereas the circular hole on the other side of the handle fits the bolt. Take the pin and insert it in this way so that it sits in the slot. Then match the yellow lever with the through holes in the pin. The hole in the pin should align through where the bolt will go through. Insert the bolt and tighten using your Allen wrench. When you are done, you can check to make sure you installed it correctly. The pin should look like this. Now make sure you use the longer L-bolt that came in the plastic package with the wheel adapter kit. The L-bolt, as you can see here, fits into the sleeve and then connects into the pin, like so. Once again, here's another view of how the L-bolt fits into the sleeve and then connects to the pin. Align the L-bolt into the hole in the pin and begin rotating the yellow lever on the outside of the trainer. Make sure you rotate the lever so that the L-bolt is connected to the pin by at least 3 threads. That way you'll be able to adjust the L bolt using the yellow tension lever handle. Now place the trainer on the floor. You'll want to loosen this piece by simultaneously loosening it and tightening down the lock nut. You want to loosen this piece to the point where it's 2 inches away from the frame of the trainer, like so. Now take the bracket and the adjustment knob lever. You want to insert the bracket into the trainer such that the open side is facing the inside of the trainer. These holes are where you're eventually going to put the axle nuts of your ElliptiGO. Note that there is 1 through hole and 2 threaded holes on the bracket. You eventually want to put that adjustment knob into the through hole, like so. Insert the bracket into the frame of the trainer. Once the middlemost hole appears, you want to insert the adjustment knob and tighten it, like so. This is the mechanism you'll use to tighten this bracket and install your ElliptiGO into the trainer. You'll note after assembly that you will have some leftover parts. These would be used if you wanted to use a different type of bike in your trainer. Set them aside in a safe place, but you won't need these parts for your ElliptiGO 8S. You are now ready to install your ElliptiGO in the trainer. Start by placing the trainer on the ground. Grab the back side frame of the ElliptiGO using one hand. With your other hand, grab the steering extender to hold the ElliptiGO stable and upright as you place it into the trainer. Start by placing the first axle nut into the stationary bracket of the trainer. Once the axle nut is held in place, release your hand from the steering extender and use a free hand to tighten the rotating bracket onto the other axle nut of the ElliptiGO. Make sure to fully adjust the black knob into the closed and locked position. Double check that both of the stationary trainer legs are in their full extended position. It's now time to adjust and tighten the spinning wheel and training mechanism. You will adjust and tighten the mechanism by rotating the yellow hand lever. You want to rotate it such that there is some contact between the ElliptiGO back tire and the spinning wheel, but not so much contact that it distorts the wheel. Like a quick release, the tightening lever should be somewhat difficult to close, leaving an imprint on your palm from the force necessary to close the lever on the rear wheel nuts. Now here, for example, we over-tightened it because you can see that the tire is being flattened. So we'll unclamp the yellow hand lever, rotate it half a rotation, and clamp it down again. This is a better level of contact between the tire and the spinning wheel. You can check the resistance level by adjusting the gears, and you can see that if you place the ElliptiGO in a lower gear, there will be less resistance. You should also rotate the drive arms a few times to check for clearance and make sure there won't be any interference in the drive arm rotation. The last step is to mount the front wheel on the riser block. There are 3 different height settings, and the 3 heights vary roughly 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. The key is to put the longest end towards the front of the wheel. So you can see there are 3 short end positions, and that's where the back of the front wheel is going to go. Place the riser block on the floor and put the front wheel into the right position. Once you have placed the front wheel on the riser block and ensured that it's firmly in place, you are now ready to mount and ride your ElliptiGO 8S on the stationary